Cardiovascular Institute of the South is celebrating 40 years of delivering healthcare to our patients and communities. Founded by Dr. Craig Walker in 1983 and guided by a mission to provide the highest quality cardiovascular care available, CIS has pioneered hundreds of firsts to improve outcomes for cardiovascular diseases. Through new technology, virtual care, outpatient procedures, and national growth, CIS is improving lives and leading the way for advanced care and innovation.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Bayou Time. Harry McCullough here. We're going to check in with Assumption Parish. And for that, we go to Commander Lonnie Cavalier, the Assumption Parish Sheriff's Office. Hope you guys had a good holiday over there. You got through the Christmas holiday okay. And we're in the middle of all that. But your work never stops, as you guys always have something going on, right?
Yeah, we had a good holiday, but, it wasn't overly busy, but we had some cases.
Yeah, okay. So let's start off with Mr. Goche.
Yes, the Marcus Ray Goche, 43, of 709 McGinnis Street, Donaldsonville, was arrested on felony drug charges arising from a traffic stop in Belrose. A uniformed patrol deputy assigned to the ICE division observed the vehicle with an equipment violation and executed a stop of that vehicle. The deputy made contact with the driver and engaged the driver, now identified as DeMarcus Ray Goche, into an officer violator interview. The deputy noted that the vehicle had a switched license plate. As the interview concluded, the deputy believed additional investigation was warranted. The deputy requested and was granted consent to search the suspect vehicle. During the search process, deputy seized quantities of Suboxone and alprazolam, which is Xanax. DeMarcus Ray Goche was arrested and booked into the Assumption Parish Detention Center on charges of possession of Suboxone, possession of alprazolam, illegal window tint, no seatbelt, and driving under a suspended driver's license. DeMarcus Ray Goche remains incarcerated in the Assumption Parish Jail with bond set at $100,000.
Yeah, Lonnie, we were talking just a second ago, though. Some of those drugs are prescription drugs, but if you don't have the prescription or in the box, that's where it can become illegal to carry those two drugs, huh?
That's correct. You must have a prescription, and it must be in the container that it was prescribed in.
To be legal drug, for sure. All right, our next is a Joseph Franklin.
Yes, Joseph Cavante Franklin, 22 of 3285 Ozark Street, Baton Rouge, was arrested on fugitive warrants following a pedestrian stop on LM1 south of Belrose. A uniformed patrol deputy observed a suspicious person walking in the 6700 block of LM1 and made contact with that individual, who was now identified as Joseph Cavante Franklin, and engaged Franklin in an officer-initiated interview. The deputy conducted a warrants check and determined that Joseph Cavante Franklin was a fugitive wanted by the East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office. Joseph Cavante Franklin was arrested and booked into the Assumption Parish Detention Center on fugitive warrants from the East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office on counts of unauthorized entry of an inhabited dwelling, simple burglary, and obscenity. Joseph Cavante Franklin remains incarcerated pending transfer to the East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office.
Okay, Lonnie, and that was a pedestrian. We also, you guys have a very active ICE division, and our next one deals with somebody who was arrested with the traffic the parish traffic ICE division.
Yes, and ICE is very active, and we're in the process of adding people to it now. Kylie M. Duhan, 37 of 3286 Orso Road, Donaldsonville, Louisiana, was arrested on felony obstruction charges arising from a vehicle stop on LA 308 in Belrose. A uniformed patrol deputy observed a vehicle suspiciously parked at a business establishment and two individuals nearby. As the deputy approached, the subjects entered the vehicle and sped off, turning onto LA 308. The deputy attempted to stop the vehicle, but the driver continued on. At some point, the passengers jumped out of the vehicle and fled on foot. The deputy made contact with Kylie Duhan and arrested her. Kylie Duhan was booked into the Assumption Parish Detention Center on charges of resisting an officer by flight, resisting an officer, obstruction of justice. Kylie Duhan posted a $20,000 commercial bond.
So she was arrested, I guess, still looking for the other person that jumped out at that time, Lonnie?
Yes, we are still looking for the other person, and that basically her obstruction charge is a result of her allowing him to or giving him the opportunity to get away from law enforcement.
I absolutely agree. Okay, the next was Assumption Parish, and again with Frankie Williams.
Frankie Joseph Williams, 26, of 422 Manchester Manor, Thibodaux, Louisiana, was arrested on a fugitive warrant from Jefferson Parish following a traffic stop in the 4800 block of LE 308 near Napoleonville. A uniformed patrol deputy observed the vehicle commit a traffic violation and initiated a stop of that vehicle. The deputy made contact with the driver, now identified as Frankie Joseph Williams. The deputy engaged Williams in an officer violator interview. It was determined that Frankie Joseph Williams was driving under a suspended driver's license, and the vehicle he was operating on was uninsured. A criminal warrants check revealed that Frankie Joseph Williams was wanted by the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office. Frankie Joseph Williams was arrested and booked into the Assumption Parish Detention Center on charges of speeding, driving under a suspended driver's license, insurance violations, and as a fugitive from Jefferson Parish on a charge of assault. Frankie Joseph Williams was released to the custody of Jefferson Parish earlier today.
Okay, and finally we wrap up with a Dusty Falcon. We only have about 40 seconds to go.
Yes, Dusty James Falcon, 42, of Brutal Road, Labradorville, was booked on felony drug charges after deputies responded to a disturbance complaint in the 400 block of LA 400 last evening. Deputies and special operations agents responded to a call of a domestic disturbance. Upon arrival, deputies interviewed the parties present, including Dusty James Falcon. Deputies determined that Dusty James Falcon was a principal to the disturbance. In the interest of safety and everyone present, deputies conducted a protective pat-down sweep of the person of Dusty James Falcon, and during that process seized a quantity of methamphetamine. Dusty James Falcon was arrested and booked into the Assumption Parish Detention Center on charges of possession of methamphetamine, disturbing the peace, and a probation parole detainer. Falcon remains incarcerated pending a bond hearing on the drug and disturbing the peace charges. He was ordered held without bond in the probation and parole detainer.
All right, Commander Lonnie Cavalier, thanks for the update from Assumption Parish.
Thank you all for having us.
All right, that'll do it for this edition of Bayou Time. See you next time.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality.